Well, the South Dakota State Railroad Museum is off to its 15th season in Hill City, South Dakota. I'm sitting here on the steps of Caboose 12268. This is in Custer, South Dakota, right next to the Mickelson Trail. I gotta put on these glasses because it's very bright out. Anyway, while we're off to our 15th season, and it should be a time of great joy for everyone, unfortunately, there's going to be somebody very important who's not going to be with us this year. And that man is Rick Mills. Sadly, our longtime curator and director of the museum passed away on April 20th last month. If you haven't heard yet, I'm sorry that this is the way you had to hear about it. I'm going to be posting his obituary up on the Facebook page, so go ahead and look for that. At any rate, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's been a tough month for us all at the museum, and many of us miss Rick terribly. He is what you would call a friend to all. That's really what kind of a person he was. I considered him a great friend, but so could many other people across the state. And it really has been tough this past month to keep going. Anyway, I do have a short video I'd like to make. You'll have to excuse the traffic and the wind. Can't help either. But I wanted to review a few things and give you guys an update. First, Rick's service is going to be on July 27th at the LaCroix Hall at the Monument. I will be posting a link to his obituary, and that obituary should have all the information for services. So please go to our Facebook page and eventually onto our website to see that. Many of us are going to be in attendance, and I encourage everybody who is watching this video, if you can come, please come. Show your support to Rick's family and Rick's legacy. In the months since Rick's passing, I have accepted the position of interim director, so I'm here temporarily serving in Rick's place. Admittedly, I am a poor substitute for Rick. Really, there's nobody that could really replace him. But there is people that can run the tills. There's people who can talk about railroad history, and there are people that can get the museum in shape. And that's precisely what I'm at least attempting to do. You can come into the museum yourself and to see, and I'm happy to discuss any questions you might have. Later on, I'm going to be posting an introductory video, but I'm not going to do that today. So, getting the museum ready, there's a couple of big things that happened over the winter. First, several of our volunteers had kindly donated their time to sort out many of the things in our library and get rid of extra things that is outside the scope of our operations. I'm happy to say that our library has never been looking better, and we even got a flat screen TV in last month. So we're going to be using this library quite a bit over the next year. The second thing is that our model train exhibit has been undergoing renovations. So I'd also like to take some time to thank all those who have come to help at the museum and get that model train exhibit looking its best. There's still a lot of work to be done, but we're getting there with it. We've also got some exhibits yet to come. The first one here on my list is Warren Lamb Lumber Company. One of our volunteers, Jordan Schmieg, has made a replica of Warren Lamb Lumber Company's Shea number 30, and he has put that in a display case. We'll be filling that out before the summer gets too long in the tooth, so you can come check that out. We've also put up a model train exhibit, and I'm planning to put up all kinds of placards and information that explains not just some of the history of model trains, but also what the different scales are, the different gauges, how trains operate, that kind of thing. The third one, which really should be on the top of the list, is Rick Mills' tribute display. We have that right up front in the museum. You can check out our Facebook page, or you can go to the museum website, or just come to the museum in person to see that. And finally, we're sorting through some railroad china that was in our collection. Soon I should be able to have that up on display. And railroad china is a very interesting aspect of railroad history. We're hoping to show that. It's the first time in years that it's been displayed, so we're excited for that. Coming changes. So the first up is Facebook. You're most likely watching this video on our Facebook page, and I have to apologize. It's been over a month since Rick's passing. We only just got the Facebook page all under my control so that I'm able to edit and handle all the backdoor stuff. So you can expect to see a lot of updates over the summer. That's going to include a few videos, a few little clips here and there. Eventually I'd like to do some kind of a tribute to Rick, so we'll get that up. If you're not following the Facebook page and you're watching this on some other platform, please go over there and subscribe to our Facebook or follow us, whatever it's called. It's very important that we get the word out, not just about Rick, but also about our operations. This spring, I was put in charge of filming a few podcast episodes, and I am happy to say that we have Rick on a couple of those episodes. They have yet to be published, but we're getting to that. Now that I have our YouTube all up and running, that should be easy enough to do in the near future. I'm also planning to do a live stream that's going to be talking about the life and times of Rick Mills. I'm hoping we can get some of his friends involved, some of the other people that have been touched by his presence in life. On that YouTube channel, my hope is that we're going to be able to share some of South Dakota's history in small segments, stuff that people could use in a classroom, things that people could use for their own research, that sort of thing. We're a small museum, so it's very hard to be able to reach out to the public with big, grand exhibits. But what we do have is a vast archive of photographs, of railroad history in the state, maps, charts, even physical objects, that sort of thing. Anyway, before my battery runs out on this, I just want to give a big thank you and a shout out to several people. First is that all of you viewers, those of you who have supported the museum in the past, I want to thank you very much for supporting this museum and for supporting Rick throughout his time as our director and in life in general. He was a great man, and I am very glad to have called him a friend. I'd also like to thank our donors, those of you who have contributed money. It really helps to keep this museum operational. If you'd like to be a member, we have an online membership form on our website, which I am currently updating. You can also come into the museum and ask about memberships. I'm going to be working on a few ways that we can bring more value to those of you who are members. So keep that in mind. I'd also like to thank Rick's family. Sarah, you've been a fantastic help last few weeks. I know it's been very hard on you, and it's been very hard on your father, Larry, with Rick's passing. But everything that you've done to help this museum, I just want you to know that it's not in vain, and that we're doing everything we possibly can to carry on that part of Rick's legacy. And lastly, I'd also like to thank all of Rick's friends that have supported him in the past. He had a vast network of friends, and I have only met a small fraction of them, sadly. I'm hoping I can meet more of you, though, throughout the next few weeks and even in the upcoming years. So, I think I'm going to leave the video at that today. Like I said, if you want to, come on into the museum or check out our website. If you're not following on our Facebook, please do so. Anything you can do is going to help us tremendously going forward. Thank you very much for watching.